You're somebody who has experienced infidelity firsthand, so you know what it's like to be on the other side of it.
Yeah.
How did you find the whole thing?
I found it totally immoral. Sorry, totally immoral. It's very, very easy. I got onto it. I did a profile that was very honest because I wanted, apart from my full name, but I called myself Ingrid, gave the right age and all that, so that I would get to see what the responses were. There's no point pretending that I'm somebody that I'm not. It was so easy, and then very quickly, I mean, I got about 20 replies in about 48 hours, which I looked into. And there's no conscience. It's just, here I am, there you are, and sort of like, you know, my wife doesn't understand me type of argument, loveless marriage, discretion is all, you know, sort of, and so on.
I think there's a reason. There's a reason why there's, 40,000 affairs a day on Ashley Madison. I mean, the expectations for marriage in 2018 are through the roof. You have to be your best friends. You have to be your closest confidants. You've got to be great lovers. You have to.
But isn't that what we sign up
co-parents.
to when we get married,
Exactly.
though, Ruben? That's what's expected of us.
Right, but what a lot of our users find is that after time, some of these things wane.
Of
so
course.
Intimacy, other things.
But
you
so
know,
it's
if
like
9
a job.
out of 10
if
of
you're
those
in a
things
job,
are great.
I bet you just sometimes think, oh, this job's a bit boring. It's much more exciting when you first start a job than not, but you don't just pack it in and whatever. But surely...
You don't, right.
No. So, but it's the same with marriage. You know, you go into marriage, of course, you get used to each other. It's kind of like a pair of old slippers type of thing, you know. But why not talk about it? If there's a problem in the marriage, why not say it? Because if your wife had the choice and you said, look, I'm actually bored with this, or
Well, a
like
lot of
the
our
bedroom
users
sort of
have
seems
talked. They've
not
gone
too
through
great.
counselling. They've gone through, they've worked on their marriage, and then they will still wind up in a marriage that's lacking of intimacy. It's
How
a
do you
sexist
know,
marriage.
though? How do you know demographically who these people are that are going on your site, whether they actually have been to marriage
with
guidance
over 100,000
counsel?
people signing up on Ashley Madison every week, we have many people that we talk to. We work with researchers. Researcher Alicia Walker out of the University of Missouri has gone through and seen that women are straying to stay in their marriages. They otherwise would be resentful. They otherwise would come in and are unhappy. And instead they are going out.
But you're saying it's this breach of trust, though, because, you know, with you saying, actually, if there's a part of your marriage that isn't working, you can just go somewhere else. But actually, that's betraying what the whole marriage is based on, isn't it? Shouldn't people, like Ingrid was saying, shouldn't they be saying to their other half, you know, or having an honest conversation about it and saying, look, this bit of the marriage isn't working for me at the moment. What can we do about this? And maybe you get to a point where you say, OK, well, I'll go elsewhere for this bit. But
society has
surely
made
you
that
have
very
that conversation
difficult
first of
for
all.
people. A lot of the individuals on our site have talked about they want to go talk to their partner. They would prefer. They're a person that struggles with monogamy. But telling your partner that is not always looked at. So you have somebody who's maybe, say, the age of 45, who's staring at, okay, a divorce, or do I spend the rest of my life not having sex, or do I outsource the sex of my marriage?
But why can you simply not just talk about it? Because I think this is cowardly. You're not confronting the problem. You're not confronting it with your wife or through a third person. And actually, it is mainly men. There's very few women on there, and statistically, that's right. I mean, there must be a lot of women posing as like
on
I
our site,
did.
even in Great Britain, it's 1.17 females to every active male. So there are just as many females
but I
on there
would be
working
in those
with.
statistics, and I'm not really doing that. I'm just checking it out. And I do wonder if a lot of women do that
There
to
are
check.
women that check it out.
Yeah, but do they check on their husbands as well?
So, so you're saying, Ruben, then it's actually a split. It's a very fair split between men and women using your site.
There's people on both sides.
Is the problem? This is what Ingrid, I think, is saying. Is the problem you're just making it too easy? And the reality is, it's kind of going, do you know what? This is so easy. I can just go off and do this. And you could ignore the fact that fundamentally there is something in a relationship, a marriage which you sign up to, that needs talking about and it needs sharing. And if you can get them to chat and communicate, then maybe there's some way that the two of them can overcome the issue rather than just going.
Infidelity has existed well before Ashley Madison. It'll exist well after Ashley Madison. What Ashley Madison does is set up a shared risk, a platform where open-minded people can go, where both parties are at equal.
You're married, aren't you? How long have you been married for?
I've been married for 12 years.
And how would you feel if you suddenly found out that your partner was on Ashley Madison or was having an extramarital affair?
I would feel that we needed to talk about it. We need to talk about
this
what
is
was
my
missing.
point.
Absolutely.
That's absolutely my point. And how would she feel if you were cheating on her?
It would be the same thing. I think one of the fortunate things about working at Ashley Madison is it's kind of the world's largest marriage.
So have you discussed it with your partner? Have you discussed having affairs?
We've been able to have very open conversations, especially with what my work is and what it pertains to. So we've been able to talk about what needs are and what desires are and what we need to do to maintain a healthy relationship.
And have you cheated on your wife?
I have not, but our business is based on.
Would you?
Would you? Our business is based on a successful affair being an undiscovered affair. So our core business is discretion.
So if there was,
So you potentially would, but you wouldn't tell us.
I would say that that's private, correct?
Yeah, because it's about not being discovered.
It's about not being discovered. It's about discretion. Whether your spouse knows, some people are on the site and their spouse does know.
So if she's watching this, and you sort of Ben asked a very pointed question, would you cheat on your wife? You've evaded that question. You haven't given a straight answer. How would your wife feel if she's at risk? You talk about risk, so there is a chance that you would cheat.
You would have to look at any relationship that's going to exist. If you want to live with somebody for the rest of your life, we wouldn't exist in 50 different countries and 17 different languages if there wasn't a risk. You have to talk with your spouse about the fact that there's risk in any relationship. If you exit one relationship and you feel like I was voided and get a divorce, you're still going to have risk in the next relationship.
Yeah, but you're posing a risk in the first place. You are proactively encouraging people.
We're human beings. We all pose a risk.
But the thing is, it's a weakness. You are preying on the weakness. You're making it look so easy. You're normalising it. By looking at it, I was kind of like almost
we
like,
need to look
hello.
People that cheat are not villains. They are normal people.